Do you want another superfood that you can add to your diet? If so, consider okra. It's very high in vitamins and minerals, and it contains a very special fiber called pectin. And pectin is very good as a prebiotic, feeding the good bacteria in your digestive system. Hi, I'm Annette, and welcome to Kitchen Garden Farmhouse. Today's video is all about okra. Now, okra contains a component called mucilage, and it is that component that can give the okra a thickening agent as you cook it as a stew or a gumbo. However, it is also the component that makes the okra somewhat slimy or gooey depending on how you cook it. But trust me, there are many ways that you can cook okra that it will not be slimy or gooey. It will reduce it altogether or greatly by sauteing, grilling, pan frying, and also pickling. A great big thank you to Mitchell and Nicole for pickling this wonderful okra for me. Did you know that okra is technically a fruit, but it is eaten as a vegetable? Okra seeds will germinate faster and better if you soak them at least for 24 hours in warm water. Here are some of my okra seedlings. They are definitely ready to be transplanted at this point. Currently, I have okra growing in different stages. Succession planting is a great way in keeping the crop going. Okra is part of the mallow family, which is also part of the roselle family. And look how close they resemble when they're seedlings. This right here is okra, and this right here is roselle. Now, roselle grows into like a hibiscus type of flower, and you pick it and make tea out of it. It's very healthy for you. Okra, roselle, and they're both ready to be transplanted. Okra is a warm season crop, and it loves the hot weather, so you can direct sow it outside once you are past your last frost state and there's no more dangers of frost coming. Or you can start them indoors a few weeks before your last frost state to get a jump start on it, because okra seedlings transplants very well. Okra is not a heavy feeder, however, it will need some nutrition, so just a well-balanced fertilizer of your choice will be just fine. The nitrogen is going to help with the plant growth, the phosphorus is going to help with the flower formation and the root growth, and the potassium is going to help with cellular function and just the overall well-being of the plant. I am growing this year the Clemson Spineless. It is an old-time favorite, and this is usually my go-to okra that I will grow. However, I have grown also other varieties as well, like the red burgundy, for example, but it turns green after you cook it, even though it's red burgundy color when you grow it. Usually there are three major things that will attack the okra plant, and that is stink bugs, aphids, and root knot nematodes. So we'll have to keep an eye on our okra plants and make sure that we stay ahead of these problems and treat them as soon as there's any evidence at all that this is a problem with our okra patch. Okra loves the hot weather, so it will thrive once the temperatures reach 75 degrees or hotter. Now, if you live further north and your growing season is shorter than mine here in Florida, which we have a long growing season, just look for a cultivar that will work in your area that will produce your harvest for a short season. To prevent powdery mildew on okra plants, just make sure they have good circulation and airflow by planting them anywhere from 1.5 to 2 feet apart. I want to go over some questions and answers with you at this time. Is okra a heavy feeder? No, okra is not a heavy feeder. Once you do your initial fertilizer before you plant your okra, and then once it gets about 6 inches tall, if you can just give it a balanced fertilizer maybe once every 6 weeks or so. Why is it recommended to plant okra on top of a drip tape? Because if you have drip tape in your garden, that is going to ensure that your okra is getting just enough water when it's supposed to, because usually people that has a drip tape is going to have a timer, and that is going to allow you to water your okra efficiently. Why is transplanting okra in the spring beneficial for colder climates? Because transplanting okra in the spring is going to give you a head start on your okra crop. And this is especially important if you live in a much colder climate. Why is transplanting okra in the spring beneficial for colder climates? Because if you live in a colder climate and you start your okra, say 4 to 6 weeks indoors, it's going to give you a jump start on your crop, because you're going to have a shorter growing season if you live in a colder climate. What is the benefit of transplanting okra instead of direct seeding? Because transplanting okra gives the plants a head start, like we talked about, and it allows for early production compared if you were just direct seeding it in the ground, especially if you live in a colder climate. Now, I live in a warm climate, and even I start my okra seeds early indoors before it gets warm weather, just to get it started early in the year. Which variety of okra is the most productive? The most productive varieties of okra are going to be the red burgundy and the jambalaya varieties. How early does the jambalaya variety of okra start producing okra? The jambalaya variety of okra can start producing pods when the plants are only a foot tall. Currently, I have okra growing at different stages, and today I'm going to be transplanting some more. Here's my okra seedlings that I'm going to be transplanting today. Transplanting okra is very simple and straightforward. I'm just going to put about a tablespoon of the Dr. Earth's all organic, all-purpose fertilizer in the soil and just mix it around. And I won't have to put any more of this fertilizer in here for maybe a month or 6 weeks. But I might give it a little bit of fish emulsion along the way, depending on how it looks. So I'm just going to just take this out of the cell trays. They look pretty good and healthy. The root system looks good. It's not bound up. And just dig the hole and put it in this pot. And it is simple as that. I'm going to be giving it some water and then adding it to my okra patch. And you can grow okra quite successfully in containers. This right here, I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but the containers I'm using are 3 gallons, and the recycling symbol is a number 2, which is the very best one to use, because the number 2 recycling symbol is the most heat resistant, and so these are the safest ones to grow food in. If you have not done so already, I invite you to take a moment to subscribe, and every time you give the videos a like and a comment, you help the channel to grow. And don't forget to share with others. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.